question that I get a lot from young mums to be, or mum or planning to be mums, and they're asking the question, what can they do to a ensure that they give their baby the best chance of being as healthy and strong as possible, and b their own health. Um, that they have a good pregnancy and as healthy as they can possibly be. Um, and that's great questions. And the answers are not very much different to what you would do if you wanted to be healthy and you weren't going to be pregnant, but there's extra stress on a woman's body when she gets pregnant for obvious reasons. For one, the baby's going to take up a lot of resources from the woman's body that would have been going into her own health and her own body previously. So, for example, there's a much greater demand for nutrients because now you've got to give a lot of nutrients to your baby that previously you would have been using for your own cell functions. So you're going to need a lot more nutrition than you would otherwise need. And a lot of women are going into pregnancy deficient already. So that's one of the very clear issues. Um, and the second thing is that, as we know, we're all being bombarded with toxins, and horrifically, they're finding that even newborn babies are full of hundreds of toxins, which of course they're getting from their mother. Okay, and then after they're born, they're getting still more toxins through the breast milk. So there's two basic things aside from obviously as a mum to be, you're going to eat as healthy as possible. You're going to avoid doing all the unhealthy things. If you're a smoker, you're going to stop. Okay, you're going to reduce the toxic load on your body by making better choices. All of that good stuff. I'm sure you already realize that. But so, what can you do beyond that? So there are two supplements that I recommend continually for everybody, but are particularly important for the mum to be. Okay, and the first one is for nutrition. So let me just quickly let me see if I can do this. Okay, so this is the two supplements. So I'm going to talk about this one first. Um, and this is to provide a massive hit of vitamins and minerals. Okay, so which vitamins and minerals do you need as a mum or a mum to be? Okay, all of them. Okay, so often I see advice like you need this particular vitamin or this particular mineral or these two or three. Look, vitamins and minerals work in concert. Okay, they work together, and you really shouldn't be looking at it as vitamins and minerals in isolation. That's not how they come in nature. Okay, we should be taking the full spectrum, or however they come in nature, which is like in whole big groups. So this particular product or supplement here is food, okay, with nothing else. There's no additives, there's no colorings, it's just food, and it's super concentrated food. It's organic, it's real organic as well, not the very low standards of organic that usually passes for organic with USDA and so on. And it's 44 different superfoods, and as a consequence of having 44 different superfoods, which also are grown in minerally rich soil, it ends up having all of the minerals and all of the vitamins as far as plants and algae and so on can offer. I personally like a few additional ones from animal products because I think that there are some vitamins and minerals which are best sourced from animal products. But as far as plants go, this is the gold standard. You can't get better than this. So it's going to provide your body with 100% absorbable food state vitamins and minerals, not rocks, not synthetics that nearly all supplements are. Okay, and not any fillers and additives and gel capsules and all of this. So that would be my first recommendation. This applies if you're pregnant or not. Okay, so can typically be taken instead of a multivit ether. They should be taken instead of a multi. Nearly, it's hard to find a multivit that's actually any good. They're nearly all fillers and rocks, crushed rocks for for minerals and synthetics, and they never cover everything. There's 660 minerals alone that your body needs. There might even be some that we don't know about, and if they are, they'll be in there because of the breadth of types of plants grown in mineral rich soil. So this is the best multivitamin I've ever seen. If you want to call it but it's not a multivitamin, it's food, but it just but it has all the vitamins and all the minerals. And one of the things about vitamins, and especially when you take them in isolation, they need, for example, a vitamin is useless without the minerals that go with it, because your body can't metabolize it. Okay, so you have to have the full set to be able to utilize stuff, and it has to be in an absorbable form, i.e., food. So when you get, for example, let's say calcium carbonate, which is the typical mineral supplement that you'll buy if you buy a calcium supplement. So that's crushed limestone, it's rock, and we can only absorb about 5% of it. So if you're getting 100 mil, you'll probably be getting more than that, but let's keep the figures simple. If you're getting 100 mil, you're only absorbing 5 mil, and the other 95 mil is now in your body but can't be used and has to be got rid of. So in other words, it's now a toxin. So when it's food, you can absorb all of it. Obviously, if you've got digestive issues, you might not absorb all of it, but potentially, if you're healthy, you should be absorbing all of it. Um, and anyone who's pregnant should be, reasonably healthy. Otherwise, you wouldn't get pregnant. Um, I've tried to find this, but I've tried to find this, but it's the only food source one I can find. You tried to find what this particular product? Are you saying, Kaylee, or are you saying? But anyway, listen. I've scoured the world for the best food-based supplements. I've never found one that comes close to matching this one. There are some other good ones. Um, there's a few, not many. There's a few good ones out there, but very very few. But this one is the best I've ever found. So anyway, so this is going to provide all the vitamins, all the minerals. It would be a good idea to make sure you include some good quality fish, oily fish in your diet. Sardines, for example. The smaller fish are better because of pollution. Salmon is wonderful, but it's a big fish and it's often got lots of toxins in it, like mercury and so on. But it's great for the omega threes. Um, okay, so super green juice, that's going to provide the vast bulk of all the nutrients you need. There are some that aren't in there. That, for example, as just mentioned, you're not going to do too well on the omega 3s from this. So I would suggest another, either eating good quality omega 3s, and in my opinion, omega 3s are better from animal sources rather than plant sources because the form that we need is, well, the two main ones would be DHA and EPA, and neither of them are in plants, um, or very, 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 very limited. You're just not going to be able to get enough from plants. So the form that's in plants is something called AMA, and AMA it needs to be converted to those one of those two, and we're rubbish at doing that conversion. So vegans end up very deficient in omega 3 typically. Okay. Oh, you've been looking for a multivitamin. Yeah, well, this is it. We found it, Kaylee. So here, here it is. Okay, so that's the first. Now, the second, the bottle beside it is not a supplement. It's something to remove toxins. So as I mentioned, um, we are being bombarded with toxins, and that sadly is reaching our children, and we're seeing the consequences of that. We're seeing all sorts of different kinds of problems in very, very young babies because of toxin levels. And part of that is due to the toxin levels of the mum, and part of that is stuff that happens to many children after, where they give them certain medications, shall we say, directly into their blood, which is a bit of a problem. So we need to get toxins down. And that second product is a natural nanozeolite, which is the most powerful, gentle way of doing that I've ever come across. And It's going to remove a massive range of the kind of toxins that are getting into babies, like heavy metals, even radiation. So right now we're being blasted with EMFs, okay, electrical magnetic frequencies, Wi-Fi, and now the one that begins with that as well. We're being blasted with it, and so non-ionizing radiation is having a big impact on all of us. And of course, a baby in the womb is more susceptible than anybody. We need to be detoxing radiation, okay? And this stuff will do it. This is what they use when they have radiation disasters, and they take hundreds of thousands of tons of this stuff to absorb the radiation at places like Chernobyl and Fukushima and so on. So they every radiation disaster, this is what they use. Okay, they use not a liquid form, they use powdered form like earth, and it's contaminated, but it doesn't matter for the purposes that they're using it. So this is a clean version aimed at human consumption. Okay, so what this is going to do is going to remove toxins from the mom, okay, which means we're going to get less toxins going into the baby. And also, once the baby is born, it means that they're going to have less toxins in their breast milk. Anything that we can do to reduce toxins is going to seriously help. And of course, one of the problems with toxins, such as heavy metals, is the heavy metals in our body amplify the wireless radiation. Okay, so they make things worse. So if you can just imagine, I'm sure you've done this, where you put some aluminum into a microwave accidentally, usually, or maybe you're doing it on purpose as an experiment. So you've now got metal in there, and then you blast it with the microwaves, and you see the sparks fly, and it's it can be quite frightening. So that's the effect that non-ionized radiation has on metals. Now, if you have those metals in your body, then you can begin to imagine what might happen. Okay, Mel says, "I wish I knew about this when I was pregnant." Yeah, yeah. So this is information that I'm hoping, I'm going to get to people before they're pregnant, or at least while they're pregnant, and can do something about it. So, so these two things are the most important things you can do, aside from eating healthy and the normal things that we all know about already. But as far as things that we might not know about, these two things are the single most important two things that you can do, which are going to empower your body to be the best that it can be, and therefore produce the best possible outcome. Now, I would also recommend that you have the minimum of medical interference, the minimum of scans, and all of that stuff, because every single one of those things introduces risks and problems. So just do the minimum of all of that. Okay, so hopefully, guys, this has been helpful. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Now, I will just mention that I have a couple, literally a couple of codes that for two people to give a $50 off this package here. So I literally have two. If you are pregnant and you want that code and you want this pack, let me know, and I will do my best. Literally, I can only do two, so that's it. So, first two people ask me who are pregnant or planning on being pregnant, then I will get that for them. Okay. Any questions? Feel free to message me, and I will do my best to get back as fast as possible. And everyone, have a great day. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your time.